Welcome to the Everyday Magic Podcast. I'm Anya Rock.
And I'm Dr. Sophia Trivena.
We've been best friends for 25 years, united by the belief that no matter what life throws at us, we can always find the magic. Join us every week as we dive into our most intimate conversations about sex, money, intuition, and building our company, Sophia, a merger of our names and the best of us. Hi, Goddess.
Hi, Goddess. So
exciting
exciting.
day.
I know, so exciting.
We have our first guest.
Finally.
Yay.
Yay.
And one of our beloveds.
The best first guest possible.
Absolutely. Yes. Today we have Teresa Foss, who is a published makeup artist, beauty entrepreneur, and content creator. She's the founder of Teresa Foss Beauty, based in Los Angeles, and DC Elite Image, serving the Washington, D.C. region. With a rich and multifaceted background in the fashion and beauty industries, Teresa's expertise spans makeup artistry, luxury retail merchandising, wardrobe styling, modeling, and beauty journalism. She holds a BA in fashion merchandising from Marymount University and is a certified makeup artist through the Graham Webb Academy. Currently based in Los Angeles, Teresa specializes in editorial, fashion, red carpet, beauty, and luxury bridal makeup. Known for her creative, professional, and signature style, from fresh and modern to ultra glam, she brings a refined, thoughtful approach to every client experience.
Especially ours.
Especially ours.
She's our makeup artist for
Yes.
Everyday Magic.
Yeah, in today's episode, we talk about reinventing yourself after divorce, finally choosing yourself and forging a new path, and trusting that everything is coming into alignment.
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
All right. Welcome.
Hello.
Do you pull cards?
Not on my own, but with probably every other one of my friends, yes. I don't have my own deck. No, do you know Shelly's friend Natalia?
Mm-hmm. Benson?
Yeah. She
Okay,
had
this is
this
crazy.
crazy deck.
Because I just pulled a card in my apartment. I was like, it kept falling. I couldn't pick up the deck. It kept falling. I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to sit down and pull a card. I pulled the same card.
This card.
This card.
Okay, that's crazy. I can't see that far.
The
what that is.
return, a new story, you decide, alignment, it's coming together.
Oh, wow. That's
Wow.
pretty interesting. That's
I mean,
pretty, what's the word?
Everyday magic, maybe?
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Winner, winner.
Fun.
Yeah. What jumped out at you when you read that?
Alignment.
Okay.
I mean, it is kind of the return. We've had a few weeks off. It's the return of Everyday Magic, where the gang's all back together.
Woo, woo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
New
OG,
beginning.
OG
we have
crew.
our first guest.
Mhm.
So excited.
Yay! Who I love is the woman who has been on set with us from the first day, before we even did the podcast and our first photo shoot. And then every
That's
single
right.
podcast, we start the day with you. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's right. It's pretty wild, actually.
Mhm.
So yeah, pretty powerful card.
Mhm.
What
The
jumps out at
return.
you?
What jumps out at me is you decide. What jumps out at you?
It's coming together.
It's coming together.
It's all coming together, which is ironic because at the start of retrograde, when I fell and fractured my wrist, I felt like it was the universe telling me to slow down, and all these things you're doing, it's going to come together, but you need to chill out and like let it just flow a little bit more.
Trust.
Instead of trust, it's all coming together.
Mhm. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel like that's been a theme. We talked about it yesterday. It's been a theme in maybe it's in the astrology, maybe it's with these retrogrades of like reminding us to slow down, but of many of us being either forced to or having circumstances that slow us down
Mhm.
and kind of detaching our worth from our productivity
Mhm.
and allowing things to happen rather than like trying to make them happen.
Yes, I definitely think that's what this is for me.
Mhm.
And then looking at this card, there's a lot actually that resonates with me. This card, like a new story. You decide, like, it's my journey, it's your journey, it's your journey, it's our
Yeah.
journey. Like, there's a lot about this card that's very powerful.
Beautiful.
It's so funny we say the journey isn't always easy, but it can be beautiful.
Yes.
So when you feel into your current journey, we've, beyond the bio, we've heard, the wonderful work that you do, and we know you from being with you on set every time we do this. But take us a little deeper into your journey and why that card resonates with you. I'd be really curious.
I think that what's going on with me right now has been in the work since I was little. Honestly, I don't think it's a huge surprise to my family what I do for a living and helping people feel their most beautiful. And that's really powerful because I've always loved butterflies, even before butterflies became very trendy. And it's really about the whole metamorphosis of developing into this beautiful self that you are supposed to be and the gifts that you're supposed to be here on this universe. And I was always a really shy kid, and I moved around a lot as a young kid. So I always really delved into trying to look my best, to appear a little bit more secure and confident every time we moved, because my dad was in the Air Force, so we moved like almost every year. And unfortunately, we lived in a lot of places that weren't very diverse. So ethnically, I really stood out. And for me, it was just terrifying, but it was almost like my wardrobe, like all that exterior part was like my shield to the world. Like, okay, I'm coming in with all my stuff on and I feel like I look my best, even though inside I'm terrified. Like I'm terrified of this. And so being able to now do this for other people and give them that same confidence that this working on the outside part will help the inside part is quite cathartic, I guess you could say, giving that gift to other people. And that's why every day for me feels like magic, because what I do for a living doesn't feel like work. I love doing it so much. I would probably do it for free, but I need to pay my bills. So there you go.
Yeah. I mean,
we feel that.
Yeah, we feel that. I am the least comfortable in front of the camera with tons of makeup on, et cetera. I couldn't have been more disinterested. I wasn't like terrified, but I couldn't have been more disinterested. But then I met you, and then you started working on me, and I felt so relaxed, and I felt like an instant sisterhood, and I just felt like, I felt like the angels took care of it for me. They're like, we're going to send a wonderful person who's doing this for all the right reasons and all the right ways. And so that gift that you felt when you were a child, you definitely gave it to me.
Oh, that means so much. And that's what you just said is really why I love what I do. It gives me great joy to make someone feel good and make someone look at themselves like, wow, like, look at me. I feel amazing. I look amazing. And I remember watching you guys on YouTube for the first couple episodes, and you would talk about the makeup. You're like, I don't know, I've never worn so much makeup before in my life. And I kind of chuckled to myself. And, it's awesome now that we've been working together for a while. Like, I've gotten to know both of you so well, but also your faces and what you like and what you don't like. And, one time I think I went cuckoo bananas on your face because you had this beautiful, gorgeous blouse. And I just got so inspired by the color. I didn't listen to what you wanted. I was just like, da, 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 da. And then you're like, Teresa, it was maybe a little bit much this time. I'm like, no problem. Sorry. I just got inspired by your face.
I love that. And it stretches me too. And it's good. And I probably want to tone down literally every single thing we do. I was raised a tomboy, and this is such a stretch for me. But then every time you do it and I look at it, I have to adjust. And then I look a month or two later, by the way, and I'm like, it's gorgeous. What was I thinking? Why was I hesitant? Áine has to deal with it all the time. I'm like, this was weird. I don't know. But then a few months later, I'm like, I don't even know what I was thinking. It looked great.
Oh, well, it's funny because when I watch you guys, it's different than when I listen to you guys. Like I usually listen to you guys when I'm in my car. But if I'm at home and I can watch you guys, I will. But then I get distracted because I'm staring at your makeup. I'm like, I should have done this.
You're almost self-critiquing.
Yeah, I'm like, stop doing that. You're supposed to be focused on what they're talking about, not their makeup. So it's kind of funny. But we both, learned about each other in different ways through this whole journey of you guys starting, Sophia and the podcast and everything beautiful that you are doing.
Anything, you're the first guest we've had, and you are also the first person that ever saw us get ready in front of a camera, and you've been here every single day that we filmed. What have you witnessed or seen, or anything that you would share or even want to ask us? You're the first person that watches us that's here in the studio.
Oh my goodness. There's so many things. Actually, the one thing that really resonates with me though is how you guys work so cohesively together. You are very different in many ways, but you're the same in many ways. But there's always just like, what do you guys just kind of bounce things off of each other. And there's like a yin and yang to both of you where you each have different strengths. And I enjoy that camaraderie and the mutual respect that you both have for each other and that you both listen to each other. And you guys were like, no, I don't like that. You're like, why? Oh, okay. Okay, let's do it this way then. And I think that is unusual. I think that having a business partner is challenging because you want to do it all your way. And then if your business partner is also a personal friend of yours, there's a different dynamic because you also care about this person in a different capacity. And so you want to listen to them more. But I know a lot of people that started businesses with their friends and it did not work out and the friendships like imploded. So my question—
we've been warned.
Oh yeah. We spent, 8 months with many lawyers making sure that we had thought of every possible blow up that could happen and what we would do and how we would make sure that it was peaceful, just assuming, like planning for the worst and assuming it would never happen was the approach that we took. And the only time we ever cried about the whole journey of Sophia and the podcast was both of us saying, I just don't want anything to happen to us, our friendship.
Yeah, absolutely. And I say this from a personal standpoint. Like there was a friend of mine, we're no longer friends, that started a business and I helped this person and it didn't work. And I bowed out to try to save the friendship and it just never recovered. And so I think for other women out there listening who are considering, going into business with a friend or a colleague, like what is the biggest piece of advice that you feel like has worked for the two of you?
I love this.
Yeah. Choose carefully.
Would you like to go first, Goddess? Or?
Yeah. I mean, I think it really does, I joke choose carefully, but truly take the time to have the conversations and make sure that, you're not swept up in the honeymoon of like, oh, it'll be great. Nothing possibly could go wrong.
We're invincible. We've been best friends for 25 years. We'll be fine.
Yeah. And what are we committed to when things come up? How do we want to work through it? Both in smaller ways and then also like in the bigger capacity. Like what are the ways if we have a disagreement about how to move forward, who do we bring in as that tiebreaker, real strategies. And then also even we were guided that if we don't agree on something, we just don't have enough information. So we are both willing to kind of be like, okay, we don't know enough yet. Keep asking questions, keep staying curious. So I think you really have to choose someone who's willing to have those harder conversations and stay, right?
With healthy processes, not just stay and scream at each other, and not just stay and let each other do the worst.
Yeah,
to ourselves
absolutely.
and each other. I mean, you were the first person I ever knew that went to therapy in our 20s, and I was one of the second people. Like, we've been decades.
Therapy is like a byline in my, life budget that will never go away.
It's necessary. I think a lot of people lean on their friends and family, but I'm like, don't exhaust your circle. Like find your person that you're comfortable with. And
I'm a big believer. I think friends have a place, and then somebody who has, it's a safe space for you to have someone who doesn't have any bias or input, right? They're not involved, that they can be that neutral person. That's what I tell my kids about, because they're like, I'm big on my kids going to therapy even. This is your hour. If you want to just complain about mom, you can do it. It's your hour, but everyone needs that place. And as you said, exhausting our friends or having them always be the person isn't
nurturing of the
fair.
friendship. Yeah. And we both are really skilled. Like I factually, like neuroscience factually know that when you're in a close proximity with someone, you have the stuff from your childhood come up. You can have things triggered that have nothing to do with what's going on in that relationship or friendship. And the closer you get, the more likely that is. And that's just science, right? But we both have enough training, decades of training to know something's up for me in this, and I need to go do my own work and then figure out when that's gone, is there anything left to actually talk about how we change how we do things? And we'll come back to each other and be like, I've really thought about this. And we're both open to keep keeping things in the I don't know place for a while.
That's
Like,
good.
You're gonna be like, I'm not comfortable being the one that is responsible for getting all of this together. But I'm not sure that I'm wrong. I might be wrong about that. I might need to be stepping into some bigger shoes that I'm afraid of or something. Just give any time. I'm not sure about it. And we're like, okay, we give each other a lot of space to go on the journey. We give each other a lot of spaces for our own journeys without taking it personally. And we know when to bring it together and when it's our own work. Somehow in 25 years, as I say, this will probably have to happen sometime soon, but I've never had to say to her, that's your work, not us. She usually brings only the us stuff to us. And I feel probably similar, right?
I think we're pretty
That's
good at
that's one of our gifts, I think. And then the other thing is we know when to throw it down and have fun. We know when to not talk about work and just go out and have giggly girlfriend time, when to go to the spa.
And we're both pretty good at saying to each other, like I'll say to you sometimes, like I came back from a trip. You were so excited. We hadn't seen each other in like 10 days and we went for coffee. And I remember you being like, you know, there's things coming to me. We're talking about Sophia and I was like, you are stretching my capacity with my jet lag brain. Like I was like, I'm listening, but only at 40%. She was like, great. As long as, you know, we kind of can have that space for each other of knowing to say, this feels exciting, but I'm not fully able to be in this forward moving conversation.
You weren't ready to receive everything that she wanted to share with you.
But I can say that rather than just sitting there and being like, oh, right, we're in a business meeting now. It's like we have both the friendship and each of us in our sovereignty to really say, you know, you've said it in other moments too, like I actually need a bit of something else is going on outside that I need space for.
We've both said it multiple times, and it can be anything from a date to deep processing. I've said, I'm in it, goddess, I'm in it, and I don't really need help, but I just need space to be in it, and it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
And I think that is the beauty of really knowing someone when you go into business with them. That can be the high point of it, is that you don't just know each other on a business level, you know each other on a personal level. So you can read each other's energy and fear like, okay, maybe this is not the best time. She just got back from a trip. She's on vacay mode. Her brain is like half here and half in whatever, Costa Rica or wherever you just came back from. So where I think some people lack that emotional awareness, or, you know, like, I'm just going to talk about what I want to talk about. Like, I need to get this out.
What has your experience been with working with women, or have you ever had business partners? I know in your industry, you're around people all the time in intimate spaces, and they're facing their insecurities or their fears, or this is all new for them, or they have expectations. Like you're in it deep with people.
Yeah, give us the inside scoop of the beauty industry.
Tell us how it goes.
Well, if we're going to do real talk here, I would say the fashion and beauty industry can be
like,
incredibly toxic. Incredibly toxic.
I mean, a lot of people are not living in LA that are listening to this. You're in like the LA scene.
You're in the highest of the
Tell us what's going on.
Top of your game.
It can be really toxic, honestly. And
as in stylists with each other, the competitive.
A lot of different, like the competition of, especially like in LA or New York, if you're dealing with like A-list clients, there's a lot of competition and competitiveness and cattiness that I just don't have the bandwidth for.
What do you do when you encounter that?
It's not for me. I just like leave. Like I literally mentally, physically don't want to be part of that whole gossipy, superficial, fake. Like it just, there's so much artificialness, I think.
What do you do when you're in a room and the 10 people on the team, 9 are like that and you're not?
Right. Like I'm trying to set it up as in you're on set. There are multiple, probably often multiple makeup artists, right? So you're kind of, or
not
is it
usually.
Is it just you and clients?
It's usually just me and clients. If I'm on a shoot, there's rarely another makeup artist. That would be more like if I was doing like fashion week where there's like a key artist and you have like 10 makeup artists on the team. But that's going so fast that you don't almost have time to even think about all that. That's not really my
When do you
spot.
encounter that? Like paint the scene for us how you would encounter it and what you do.
I think that in general, the beauty industry can be very fake. And I won't say what companies, but I've absolutely worked for companies where I'm doing the makeup for them and it doesn't look good on camera and you'll use completely different products, but it's supposed to be those products.
As in the end look is all that matters, not how we got there.
They don't care how we got there. They don't care if it's the products that we're supposed to be shooting this ad for, they just want it to look good. And so I think that right there, what I just said kind of sums up
the lack of integrity.
How the beauty industry can be as a whole, that specific situation. It's
like
all
what
smoke
it looks,
and mirrors.
It's
all
what it
how
looks
it looks.
like. Yeah.
It's amazing when you're flipping through a magazine, like when you just land on one page, what went on in that one image. I mean, you guys know, you've done photo shoots now, what goes behind that one photo. It just seems like a snapshot in life, and people look at it, they have no idea what on behind the scenes of that one shot. And so there is a lot of smoke and mirrors, I feel like, that's not real. I have seen a pivot in the beauty industry, like using less filters, like more real models. That when I say real models, like people that actually look like people that we want to aspire to, and not just the same cookie cutter image. You know, when I was growing up in the 80s, everybody looked the same in the modeling industry. There wasn't diversity in women. Everyone kind of looked the same. They were all beautiful, but I thought I should look like my brother. I'm adopted. He looks like you.
And what is your background? I know that you're adopted.
I am Polynesian and Vietnamese, and my parents adopted me and my younger sister. My two brothers are my parents' biological children. So I think that beauty standards as well, growing up, what people think looks all American is what you look like. Where I was born in this country. Why am I not considered all American? And so I think that authenticity comes with owning who you are and looking the way that you do, instead of trying to look like something that we're not. And I feel like the age of the Kardashians, it's all about looking like something you're actually not. Because if we look at what all these women look like before all their surgeries, they don't look like the same people. And I think a lot of the beauty industry promotes that. Like, you can look like something completely different if you have enough money or if you're rich enough. And I'm more about looking the best that you are, the way that you came out of the womb.
I love this. This is my motto, rock the hot.
Enhancing real beauty.
Yeah. Like, it's fun to do all the things, you know, like I certainly have gotten some things done to myself, but there's a point where you just don't look like yourself anymore. So who are you? And I think that sometimes the outside can affect the inside. A lot of times I think the outside can affect the inside, and vice versa.
Yeah, you said that. And I was going to say, that's my motto, rock the hot you've got. Anyone that ever comes to me, like my students when I was a professor, was like, I want to be more professional for the thing I have to do on stage. And I'd say, let's look at who you are and what you actually have in terms of your essence that's different. And how can we enhance that? I love when you said, like, enhance natural beauty. And we're all looking at options like extensions and Botox and all of these things, right? And none of these things were really in my field before I came to LA, which is only a few years ago, like just before my 50th birthday. And I've gone down this journey where I tried a little bit of Botox, and then I tried more, and I absolutely was like, I said to Áine, I'm like, I cannot wait for it to wear off. This is the worst experience I've ever had.
I remember this.
Yeah, you were on the journey.
I remember this.
I didn't have it, and then when we started the podcast, I had it for a little bit, and I was just waiting for it to wear off, and then we talked about it today, and I said, I'm pretty
literally, I'd like say hi, and she'd like, I don't look like myself. Look at my face. Don't I look different? I'm like, nope, you look the same. You look beautiful.
Like, my eyes doth deceive me, and she's like, they doth.
You know, originally, when you first got it and you asked me, when I first looked at you, I'm like, you look the same to me. But as I started really studying your face and doing it, I'm like, actually, no, you don't. And so when we do these little changes, we are absolutely the ones that notice it the most.
I was horrified, and I'm glad it's all worn off. I'm pretty sure, and I'm like, never again, ever, not.
Was it for you?
Yeah, it wasn't for me, and I don't
I'm
judge
still
it.
firmly in the Botox camp.
I am. I'm dabbling in it myself. That's okay.
Unabashedly, all good.
And I'm not against it.
I'm not against it either.
There's enhancing yourself.
And
then there's just completely changing who you are on the outside, which makes you wonder what's going on the inside, that you want to change yourself so much to look like a completely different person. I don't know if that's healthy.
I think it's what's running the motivation, right? If it's coming from that lack or that need to hide or to be something else or to look a certain way for someone else, like all of those are worth looking at and not judging, just worth looking at. For me, it's like I come out. I always actually come out of Botox and I'm like, oh, why did I wait so long? I feel so good when I do it.
You love it.
I do. I feel like my skin glows. Like I have, you know.
You feel like your skin glows from Botox. I love that.
I do. I always feel like for the next like few weeks I personally love it.
She loves it. That's why I was like, well, if she loves it, maybe I
love
it. It's like famous last words from besties.
Right.
This is what's so adorable about the two of you, though, is that you will rub off on each other in certain ways, but you're still your own person.
So we always rock our own path for sure.
Yeah.
And we definitely Áine had to endure my endless complaints about it. I was like,
I'm like 6 to 8 weeks, babe. You're just gonna have to wait.
Gone, which is like,
I knew you didn't like it,
Yeah,
but
no,
I could tell once I really started studying your face, and then I went home and because I was like obsessed by it. I'm like, what part is different? And we discovered it was your eyebrows. Yeah, it was your eyebrows.
Like,
they weren't as arched anymore.
Never again.
It triggers her, you guys. It triggers her so bad.
And interestingly, like this, just since we're talking about this, almost I would say every other day, someone, and it can be anyone from a younger 20-year-old girl to an older man to a middle-aged woman, stops me and says, "You're so beautiful." It's just the sweetest thing ever. And I'm always like, thank you. When I had Botox, not once. And the second it wore off, it started again.
That is so
not that I'm
interesting.
counting or need that, but it was very noticeable. And I don't know if it's because my inner self was like, this isn't even me.
Mm-hmm.
I also have this, well, it's not, there's science that backs it. When people see something that's naturally configured versus artificially configured, they can see it. And I think Áine started Botox way before I did.
Yeah, I started in Chicago. I remember so before LA.
Right. So I think you were working with what was naturally already young when you started, maybe, or something. Because I look at your face and it seems absolutely natural to me. And I said to you, like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. It's perfect. But I feel like my face registered as not being. Anyways, I just thought that was
it could just be the way we feel about it, right?
Yeah.
It really is.
Like that shines out to people and they don't say you look beautiful because for months and months I didn't feel like I did, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Bingo, right there.
That's it.
That's it right
Keep
there.
going. Keep going.
It's not the Botox.
Right.
That's the
It's
catalyst,
the inner,
but
right.
it's you did not feel your best. You did not feel the most beautiful version of you.
Right.
It's like putting on someone else's clothes and that person looks fabulous in that outfit, but it's not your style. So you're not going to wear it authentically the same way that person's going to wear it. And when I started my business in DC. That's where I used to live before LA, a little over 10 years ago when I was still working for a high-end matchmaking company. So a huge part of my job was making over my clients because in DC, everyone's a little conservative and a little frumpy and all these women are super educated and they have all these accolades and they're like, well, what's wrong with this suit? I look very professional and put together. I'm like, it's not sexy. It's not feminine. You're not bringing your feminine energy to the date. You're bringing the boardroom. You've got to change it. So I'm not saying to change who you are, what you look like. It's just changing the hat. You're taking off the hat of businesswoman and now you're on a date. You're in your feminine energy. And I said, so you've got to switch it. It's like, I don't have time to go home and change. I said, well, then schedule your dates on the weekends then or bring your outfit to work because you cannot go to work, go on your date straight from work in that business suit.
Wow. Did it have results, that guidance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. So that's how I started my business is that I'm like, I don't even want to do this part anymore. I was wearing too many hats. Just want to focus on the aesthetics. That's what I went to school for. And it was so powerful. It was like I would take women shopping. They would put on something that they did not want to put on. But as soon as they did and they saw themselves in the mirror, their whole body language changed. So going back to you with the Botox, whether you realize it or not, your body language was probably different because you didn't feel like your most beautiful version of yourself.
Monstrosity.
And as soon as it started wearing off, people started noticing your aura again because you started feeling more like yourself.
Totally.
So
Okay,
it's the same thing as putting on a bad outfit that doesn't feel like you.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
Love it.
Yeah.
So DC to LA, and you've like reinvented yourself in your business and in your life many times.
Yes.
Pivoted.
Yes.
Yeah.
like
Which
that
I
word.
think is, we talk a lot about the art of the pivot. It's a very courageous part of life. What's been tell us a little bit about those pivots or like what's been your experience on that journey?
I think the pivot is necessary. You can't stay in one place forever. Like literally, mentally, emotionally, physically, like it's not good. Change is necessary. It's very hard. And I think for so long as a young kid moving around so much, I didn't like that. So like once I got to one place, like, and that one place was DC, I'm like, I'm not ever leaving. I'm not ever moving. I'm going to be right here. And this is how it's going to be. But life took me on a different ride. I moved to LA during the pandemic with my now ex-husband, and the universe threw me a lot of different curveballs where I was forced to pivot. And I decided, I'm in LA. Like, this is such a beautiful place. I've never lived on the West Coast. Everyone's like, just move back. I'm like, no, actually, I think I'm going to stay. And I stayed here. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have a job. I didn't even have a car the first year
pandemic.
I was here. Yeah, it was the pandemic. Like, I'm a makeup artist. There's no one's going. No one's
wait
going.
a minute. What? That's crazy.
Yeah, I literally knew no one. I didn't have anything. I moved from, Palos Verdes to West Hollywood, and I got my little apartment, and I walked everywhere my first year because I didn't have a car, and I
love this story.
So, I had a lot of time to think about what I wanted this next chapter to look like, because I literally was starting fresh with everything, finding new friends, finding new clients, literally finding myself all over again. I did a lot of therapy, a lot of coaching, a lot of walking. And I realized I'm just going to, as a Virgo and a planner, I'm going to stop planning. I can't plan this. You can't plan a pandemic. You can't plan a divorce. You can't plan these things. It happens, and you need to just roll with the punches. And I think that I just decided that I'm just going to wake up every day, and instead of feeling angry and sad for the things I no longer have, I'm going to say the things that I'm grateful for. And I did that every day. And it was hard. I'm going to get emotional.
We have tissue purposely because I knew anyone in the studio is going to end up having a tear.
And I still do that. And thank you. I can't watch the news a lot because I'm an empath, and I get so wrapped up in things that are going on in the world. I get so lost in it that I can't focus. So I don't watch the news a lot. Some of my friends are like, you need to stay more in tune, but I feel all this, and I have to force myself to say the world is not all bad. People are not all bad. Things are not all bad. There's beauty in this world, and there's really horrible things in this world. But the really horrible things make us appreciate the beauty and the small things even more. And I've learned to appreciate those small things. I think my ex-husband thought that I needed a big fancy house and fancy clothes and lots of cars and lots of trips. I don't. Those things are all nice. Who doesn't like those things? What I need is my friends and family and people who support me, and a job that I'm passionate about. And I have those things.
Connection and purpose.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And it sounds like you were led by intuition to stay. You really...
Absolutely. Just feeling it versus trying to plan it. It's so hard for me because I'm like, I want to plan out my whole life. Like, if I could. It's very,
Virgo.
very, very Virgo.
I have a Virgo
like if
daughter.
I could do color coding and a spreadsheet, like that would be me. But I think I've learned in the last 4 years to just, if I don't feel good about it, I either just say no immediately, or I pause on it and I let it just happen organically.
So I want to just mine in here for a second. Is that is your intuition kind of a gut feeling? Like, do you know it in your body as opposed to like, how does it come to you? Because I think we all get it differently.
I think some things are a visceral gut reaction. Like, no, I don't want to do that. Like this date I went on where this guy literally was trying to thrust his tongue down my throat, and it felt like this is just darting tongue. And I was like, absolutely no. That's a hard no
from
for
all
me.
of us.
The darting tongue is a hard no for me.
We back up that hard
like
no.
when someone says, give me your tongue, I'm like, absolutely not. I actually don't want to give you my tongue.
Did he say that?
Yeah, that's a whole other story.
Oh, we got lots of time for that story.
That's a lot of content right there. But other things, I'm like, I'm not sure how I feel about that. And going back to what you guys were talking about and building a brand and a business together, if I don't have the answer right away and it's not immediate no, then that means I'm still open to this. So, but it's not an immediate yes either. So I just need to pause on this and let it kind of sink in and marinate. If it's something that I need to address more in a time frame, like I do get a little bit like, but I do lead with my intuition and how I feel about it instead of trying to overthink it.
Beautiful.
What's my initial feeling?
Yeah.
Did that bloom in you after your divorce? Right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's because you had thinking got you into that and you needed something else to get you out of it?
I think I had a lot of time alone to think and feel and all those things. But yes, I think I got away from just having my own voice. And it was the first time in so long that I only had to focus on me. I didn't have children. I didn't have a husband. It was just what I wanted. And I never really had that freedom before to do what I wanted. And I'm like, well, you could stay in LA. You could move back to DC. You could do either one. You could leave the country. You literally can do whatever you want because you can.
Which was new.
Yes.
I was just going to say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
That was the
Very
first
new.
time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Honestly,
and I think you were married with stepkids.
Mhm.
Did you lose your voice in that?
I think over time I did because I was the most malleable and I had to be the most compromising. You know, when you have children, as you know, like a lot of times you don't want to, but that lacrosse game on Saturday morning, that takes precedence.
Oh, you're going.
You're going. So when you have 3 kids and they all are in sports, like you realize like you don't matter. Your schedule is not important. And the kids absolutely came first. His schedule, he had a very intensive job. His travel schedule was really intensive. So I became a huge support for everyone in the family and my needs got swept away.
How long were you in that? Like, how long were you in that marriage or in that relationship?
We were together for, I think, almost 8 years.
So that's a big stint to be in that paradigm. And then you're in this alone during COVID by yourself with nothing paradigm right afterwards.
I know this in my mind, but as you just said it, just the way you did just now, I realized like I was never alone. He would travel for work, but I always had the kids with me. I was rarely ever alone. And I now realize how much I require alone time because my job requires a lot of absorbing other people's energy. So doing you guys' makeup is always a joy because you both have such amazing energy, but I've absolutely had people sitting in my chair whose energy is not desirable and I absorb it anyway. And then the rest of the day I'm funky. And so I need that alone time to recharge as an introvert. And if I don't get it, it starts to build up. And I think that's what happened over time. Like it all started to build up. Like I wasn't getting any of my needs met after a while. Like it was hard.
That is hard. And I can't help put on the coach hat. I can't help it. Part of me is like, do you feel like there's a world where you learn a new way where you don't have to absorb everyone's energy?
It's called the art of saying no. And this is something really powerful as a reformed people pleaser, that it's okay to say no. It's okay to put yourself first. You're not a selfish asshole. I think before I said yes to everything. Can you pick up the kids today? Yes. Can you do this? Can you go to a parent teacher conference? Yes. Can you come to this party? Yes. I had a hard time saying no to everyone in my life. And I realized the only person I wasn't saying yes to was me. And not only did I cleanse myself of that marriage, but I cleansed myself of girlfriends and relationships that weren't doing me any justice. It was really all about those people who really, it was always me compromising to fit their schedule or what they wanted. It was always what everyone else wanted. It was never what I wanted. And the last 4 years, it's more like, no, I have a voice and I should get what I want. And I think people mistake kindness and being compromising for weakness. I'm not weak. I just was easygoing. And sometimes now I just don't want to be easygoing anymore. And if someone invites me to something and I can't make it, I just politely say no, thank you, and keep it moving. And I choose myself. And I think that's hard for a lot of women to do. I don't think it's as hard for men, but we are naturally juggling and nurturing a lot more. And it's hard. It's hard to get to that space where you're like, no, thank you. I can't do that today.
Yeah. I talk about it with my daughter. Like, are you willing to disappoint other people? if something just doesn't feel like what you can sometimes say yes, but just no. It's like learning our own metrics of like, I'm going to say yes. And sometimes, sometimes we do say, I might not want to, but I will. But at least I know why I'm saying yes, why I'm saying no. It's not just, yes, I'm going to because I don't want to make waves or I don't want to disappoint anyone. It's like really being in our own experience of it and then making those choices from a much more conscious place.
Yeah. And I think a lot of women are natural people pleasers. I mean, we can't help but bring up the Epstein thing because it's all people are talking about besides the couple that caught on the kiss cam. I digress. If you watch the documentary, you hear a lot of people say, I didn't feel like I could say no. Let me rephrase that. People, women, young women saying, I feel like I was in a place where I could not say no. How many of us have been in a situation as a woman where we felt like, I don't think I can say no to this, even though I really like everything in my body and my being screams, I don't want to do this or I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
That's been baked in from thousands of years of survival from if you said no for thousands and thousands of years, you would literally be ousted and not belong and potentially die. It's baked into our DNA, and there are people that know how to use that force to get what they want from younger people and especially women that have that. I totally agree. That's
it sometimes starts with like, give your uncle a hug and not, do you want to, right? That overriding consent from a young age, right?
I completely agree. Even I remember one of my, after university, one of my high school friends said, all my mom ever said is if a boy asks you to dance, say yes. And I was even told, like, be nice to him. Don't be easy
and if
for him.
If he's mean to you, he likes you.
Right. Oh, if he pulls your hair, he's really into you.
Remember that from grade school?
If he pokes at you and teases you.
Just means he likes you. If he's jealous and he got upset, that means he really likes you.
I remember when my daughter was young and some boy was being mean to her and it almost came out of my mouth like, oh, he must like, and I was like, where did that come from? I'm like, okay, no, this boy is mean. We're not talking to him. How are we shutting this down? But
that's powerful.
Such a part of like, oh, it's in there somewhere as programming.
We have been programmed like that since little girls. And I think until the Me Too movement, that's really how we were all raised.
Right.
Even if our parents didn't mean to, in a bad way, like that's how we were raised to just be okay.
Don't rock the boat.
Yeah,
don't rock the boat.
People
pleasing. Making everyone feel comfortable and happy around you. And then if you're the middle child like me, it's always like...
Yeah, I'm probably the least like that of anyone I've ever met, ever. And still, it's happened to me and I've done it. It's happened. So it's in there. It's baked in there.
I don't think there's a woman in this world that hasn't experienced that feeling of, I don't really want to do this. I don't really want to be here, but I feel like I kind of have to. Where I'm not sure as many men would say that.
Yeah. Different experience, I think.
Yeah.
And so do you find now that you trust that and have found a different voice?
I don't feel guilty anymore. Like I would feel so guilty if I couldn't be there for someone or do something. And I realize now I stretched myself so thin that I was exhausted. Like I almost needed the pandemic. I needed like a 2-3 year hiatus from society to like find myself because I have absolutely lost myself. I lost myself. A little bit of him rubbed off on me and I started realizing that I was developing traits that I didn't like.
To survive. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. What would you say to women that are listening to this and are realizing that they might be in a marriage like this and they're in it right now? They can't go away for 3 years. There's no pandemic. What would you suggest to them?
It's a really hard step to step away from the lifestyle you have, the life you've built together, the perfect little package on Instagram. And I see it all the time. And I know friends like this and they're still married and they really shouldn't be. You have to decide ultimately, are you willing to lose yourself for all that? Or are you willing to be brave and step away and find a new journey for yourself? It's not been easy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It hasn't been easy. And there are things I absolutely miss. But what I don't miss is the fact that I lost myself. And you will find yourself again if you want it bad enough. And if it is not fulfilling you, you shouldn't be in that relationship. Whether it's a friendship, a business partner, a marriage, like if it's not fulfilling you, you're not happy, why are you in it? What are you getting out of it?
And what's it costing you? Right?
Mhm.
We were
Yes, what's
talking
it
about this
costing
with
you?
people in work situations, or like our body is usually messaging us that it's not, something's out of alignment,
Mm-hmm.
and it has a cost, even if we don't see the cost when we stay longer than we should.
We were talking about this
Yeah.
earlier, you and I,
Yeah.
about your body tells you when something's not right. Like when
Mhm.
you're in an unhappy situation, you physically start to have more ailments and things that don't feel good. And it's your body and mind are absolutely connected, but people don't often read those signs.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had several women who are in bad marriages, in my opinion, ask me like, or say to me more like, that was so brave of you to leave.
Mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
where I guess it was, I looked at it like I have to.
I get that a lot too. Like, you're so brave and you never looked back. I'm like, I looked back all the time, but I also knew the only way is forward.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, I think there's a lot of fear of the unknown, especially for women. There's lots of financial reasons. There's a
Mhm.
lot in the uncertainty of what will happen, you know.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. Like, you guys have both been told you're so brave because you went into a marriage with kids and got out of it. As a woman that never even got into it and just was like, I'm not willing to do that, and said no from the beginning. I don't
Mhm.
get you're so brave.
That's really interesting, actually.
No one ever tells me I'm brave.
For being
Well,
like,
that
for
is it.
choosing the,
You are brave.
Thank you. I know it, but I don't ever hear it from anyone else. Most people are just like, why did you do that? Or like when I travel the world, every woman would be like, where's your husband? And I'm like, oh, I got a PhD instead. And they go, oh. And I'm like, that's not even an answer. It's not even an answer, but it made them just leave me alone. But more so, I'm scrutinized. I've literally was at a dinner party in Portugal, and this really prestigious man and I exchanged books, and he offered to take a taxi with me. And as soon as we were alone in the taxi, he was like, what are you running from? I'm like, why? And he's like, all this traveling all over the world. And I'm like, I have clients in 25 countries. I'm running not from, I'm running to the people that I work with.
That's interesting
But
that
it's-
he perceived that.
Right. But when you're a woman that has never gone down that path because it was
Mhm.
never right, but like what presented was never right, like I never got into it and got out of it that deeply. I mean, I had a marriage and I got out of it, but I didn't go all the way deep. And no one said you're brave for getting out of it. Not a single person was like, why are you leaving? He was there for you for this. You should stay. You haven't even really given it a try yet.
I would say there's also, there's that too. I definitely, I don't know that people are as forthcoming with those opinions. I know they exist. I hear the you're so brave from other women who wish they were leaving their marriage.
Yes.
That's where I mostly hear it, is the like, oh, I see that you took the path that I want to take, but I don't have the courage to take that path yet.
Right.
Yes.
And my path is just so foreign to them that they just go, really? Why'd you do that? That's interesting.
Right.
It's
like
not
they're
relatable.
already,
It's not
they're already
relatable.
in something.
It's not relatable. I get it. That makes sense.
Whereas I would imagine for women who are considering, which is why young women gravitate to you, young women who are considering not going down a traditional path, you are brave. You are the one who they go, oh, that's an option?
That's true. That is absolutely true.
Yes.
That is absolutely true. I definitely have a lot of conversations with people, especially in their early mid-30s. They're like, so how do you feel that you didn't have children? I'm like, fantastic. They're like, when did you ever debate it? I'm like, absolutely. Like, I almost had a baby with my gay best friend. Like, it called to me. I always felt like I was going to be a mother. Every choice I made was to be a mother. Just years kept going by and he wasn't going to be it and he wasn't going to be it. When am I going to do it alone? And they're like, oh my God, it must feel horrible that it didn't happen. I'm like, couldn't feel better. Best decision ever. Every day I'm like,
let me tell you all the reasons when I sit with my bestie.
Áine and I will be out and we'll see something and I'm like, reason 752, I'm glad I don't have children, or she'll have to go. I'm like, I'm going to this concert.
I'm going to the Saturday tournament. She's like, enjoy that. I'll be at the spa at the pool.
But I think, again, this is something that has been ingrained in women for forever, that if you did not give birth to a child, then you are not you have no worth.
You're not complete.
You're not complete. Your job, this was your job, and you didn't do it.
Which is why I think I told women around the world in all these cultures that were, where your husband? And I'd say, oh, I did my PhD instead. And they go like, oh, like you have worth over that there. There was some reason that was the only answer I ever got that stopped the question. So I just kept using it. But otherwise, if I was like, oh, I haven't, that's not really for me. Oh, but you're so beautiful and I have a nephew. And like, no matter what I said, it kept going. And the only thing I could ever say is, oh, I did a PhD instead. And they're like, oh.
Maybe I should do that. Except
End
I
of
don't
conversation.
have a PhD. But it's interesting, like unsolicited.
Yes.
After my divorce, like so many women would say to me, you can still have children. I'm like, I didn't say I wanted to. Not to say that I don't love children and I love being a stepmom, but for many reasons, that's a no for me. I appreciated the experience. There's nothing more like, it's an unthankful
Humbling.
position. It honestly is an unthankful position
It's
of
a
being a
thankless
step
position.
parent because
especially a step-parent.
you don't have legal rights to children and you are doing the work of an actual parent. In my situation, they live with us and he was gone a lot. So they really were under my care probably more than sometimes their own parents. But in the end, when it's all said and done, like I don't talk to them anymore. It's not my wish, but they're not my children. I wish I could, but I was told I can't.
Which must be hard on them too. You were a big part of their life.
I hope one day,
Yeah.
they'll realize that this is a very complicated situation and it's not so black and white, but I'm not here to drive a wedge between them and their father or demonize him. I just would like to know they're okay and they're happy. You don't raise 3 children for 8 years and don't care anymore about them. But do I want to have more children? No. And do I think about the universe that I didn't get pregnant when I was married a blessing? Yes. Yes, I do. Because the thought of having to co-parent after the marriage is over with this particular person is terrifying.
Yeah. I had a 1.5-year marriage and I got pregnant and that's why we got married. And then I miscarried right away. And then when we divorced and 1.5 years later, the biggest thing is I was like, oh, I never have to see you again. We don't have to co-parent.
Yep.
And I wouldn't have never been able to leave Hawaii and work globally and be here doing this. I'd have to stay in that state.
Yeah, I think about that all the time. Like if I had children, how different my life would be. So when I say like, I really, for the first time in my life ever, I'm like, I don't have to be anywhere. Like I can literally do whatever I want. Like if I meet someone tomorrow and want to move to, I don't know, Madagascar, I can.
Yeah, the ultimate freedom.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is I always tell people if I think about my primary identity or how I reference or have a lens for everything, I'm sort of hard put between scientist and mother. Like my first lens on everything is mother. Like even when I talk to myself or when I'm with someone else or I'm going to, be mentoring anyone, like it comes out in me. And then also the scientist, but they're right there together. Like mother is a primary identity for me.
There's something very nurturing about you. And I don't think that those qualities are all in us, even if you have children or not. And I don't feel unfulfilled because I didn't have children. Like every day that moves forward, I'm fulfilled by my career.
Me too. I'm so fulfilled by my purpose. I have touched so many lives directly with my students and my people that write me about my books and things. I feel beyond fulfilled. And I can't compare it to motherhood, but what I can definitely say is I fully embrace and embody mother. I feel mother as my being.
And I think parenthood is not for everyone. And so if you feel as a young woman, like, I don't think that's for me, then you go with that. Don't let society or family pressure you into having children if you don't want to, because that's how we end up, honestly, with a bunch of little jerks running around because they weren't
nurtured because they weren't really wanted for the right reasons.
Exactly. There are many people that had children for all the wrong reasons.
Now they're in their 50s and 60s and they're my clients and we're unpacking that.
Yeah.
Actually, someone asked me that was 35. They said, how many people your age that tell you about having children say that they're really glad they did it and there was no other path for them and that was it? And Anya says that. My best friend Wendy says that. Like they're the only 2 people that are like, loved having my children, best thing, definitely my purpose. And I was like, I would say maybe 20% say that. And maybe 50% say if I could go back, I'd really reconsider. And they're like, that many? And I'm like,
that's a lot.
And I would say like 30% are probably like, it was the thing to do. So I did it. Could I have not? Probably. But how about half people are like, God, I had no idea what I signed up for. We were blindsided. I was blindsided.
And that's honestly like really awful. My sister is an amazing mom. She has 4 children. And I mean, I think she would probably have more if she could, but she loved being a mom like that. She was born to be a mom. And
Anya too, I think.
She's a great mom. And I understand why. Like it's a gift.
Are her kids happy and are they good as
They're
a family?
amazing
Same
kids.
with Anya's kids and same with Wendy's kids. Like they're all friends and family. Like, but everyone else that has that inner thing that they kind of wished or it was too much or they didn't know, there's unrest in those families.
Absolutely. I see it. I see it a lot. And I see it when my friends talk about their kids in school and the things that they have to, like, especially the daughters that have to deal with the bullying and things like that at school. And I'm like, these little girls are so mean. Where is this coming from? You're not born like that. Exactly. The mom.
Right.
And I think as women, we need to do better than that. But hurt people. And so if you're a hurt person that doesn't have the capacity to raise a child, and then they enter into the world, they become your mini-me. You are forming them into being you. And it's not always good.
Yeah.
I think that even though I love children and I appreciated being a stepmom, I think at this stage in my life, I wouldn't be a good mom. And it's not because I'm not nurturing and a kind person. It's just that I'm in my selfish era where I really love my career and I love to work. I barely have enough time for my dog. So
I really challenge this word selfish. Who was I sitting with? And I was, So I met a friend of a friend who was really debating getting divorced. She's young, maybe 30. And her and her boyfriend, husband have been getting in arguments to the point where she leaves and she comes back and the apartment's destroyed. And I was like, I feel like this writing's pretty clearly on the wall about leaving. And she was like, would you leave? And I'd say, yes. And she's like, why? And I gave her my reason. She's like, I need to be more selfish like you. I was like, what?
Well, we have centered selfishness as being negative rather than positive. Right. So
Anya has a thing where she reclaims words.
Yeah, because I don't think we're going to stop using the word. But
I knew you were going to do this, by the way. I could feel it. I literally could feel it.
And I'm always like, stop using that word and use something more accurate. And like she likes to reclaim. I like to use different words. That's our thing.
So what word would you use for it?
Self-honoring.
That's that has selfish has a negative connotation. But when I use it, like I'm not saying it's negative. I'm owning the fact that like bringing a child into this world right now would not be fair to the child. It's like getting another pet when I'm traveling all the time. That's not fair to the animal. It's not fair to the child either.
It's not fair to you.
It's not fair to me either.
And you're self-honoring.
Yes, I'm self-honoring.
I'd love to bring it back to this card, which we started out with, the return. You shared so much about your beautiful journey. And you shared that it feels like it's all coming together. So what's next for you as you imagine, you've come so far, you've recreated your life. And what is that alignment? Like, what's the feeling? What's the vision for what's coming next for you?
If you'd asked me this question maybe like 10 years ago, we would have rattled off a list of 10 things because I'm a Virgo and that's what we do. We're planners. But I think now, and the woman that I am, the woman that I'm still becoming is just happiness. I've each step I've taken in the last 4 years to become this woman is based on what makes me feel good and what brings other people joy, and that in turn brings me joy. And so I want to keep sharing my gift with the world and touching as many beautiful faces as I can and bringing that joy to so many other women who may not feel as great. Let me help you feel great.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And if you had to, leave a gift, the gift of you to women watching this who are ambitious and in business and forging in an industry that can feel competitive and toxic. It might not be the beauty industry, or it might. What would be the gift of lived wisdom that you'd share with them?
Do not compare your journey to anyone else's. Don't be competitive. Don't compare yourself. Don't doom scroll on social media because it's toxic for your brain. Because you're then like, oh, I should be doing that, or I should be doing this. Like, stay on course. Be true to yourself. Lead with what makes you you and special and authentic, and do things that truly you're passionate about, and the goodness will come. When you're truly passionate about something, you believe in it, and you're in your authenticity, all those good things will come.
Beautiful. And if you had to share lived wisdom with yourself, if you could kind of speak to your highest self, or even, the the part of you that's always listening for your own guidance, what would that wisdom be as you set out on this next journey toward happiness? And
don't care so much about what other people think of you. You can't please everyone. You're not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. Because I certainly don't like a lot of people. That's okay. Like, you can't please everybody. Please yourself and the people that you care about the most, and be happy.
Beautiful. I have one last question. It feels like it's just sitting on the tip of my tongue, and that is, where is everyday magic showing up for you?
Well, today was here with you two.
Yay.
I have to say that for the first time in my life, I have a community, not only here in LA, but in DC, of just really amazing women. And I really cherish every one of those female relationships, because I really didn't have that growing up. I didn't have the bestie. I didn't have a circle of girlfriends. I had friends, but it didn't feel like it does now. And I think that's why I'm taking my time with a romantic relationship, because I'm so fulfilled by my female relationships.
What's that like?
I don't need a man. I want one. I want a relationship, but hasn't felt right yet. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
We're celebrating everyday magic with you as well.
Yeah.
It's been really lovely to have you. Not only behind the scenes, but sitting here. Thank you for being our first guest. And
thank you for having me. This is a gift.
Vulnerable
Gift
and
for us.
open and
Yes.
sharing in this intimate conversation.
Thank you both.
Thank
This
you.
has been very magical.
Thanks for being our first guest. Yay.
Thanks for being on the journey with us. We'd love to have you as part of the ongoing conversation. Join us on our socials at Sophia Beauty, and join our email community at sophiabeauty.com. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode.